Watch how that shit drop. Yeah. Man, we've been doing this for quite some time, and we're gonna keep on keeping on, you know? Oh, get with it or stay away from it. But either way, we going to the top. Can't win it over, I stand with getting better. You let it burn me in the falling, so panoramic, it can't even afford coming over. I pay the price since it's unimportant. So unimportant. So I don't want you, I don't need you in my life. I feel like I'm cross, I put that on God, and feeling like the top, feeling like the king. Everything you beat, it ain't really what it seems. Traveling, seeing all the world's problems, trying to tell you how we get it and how we can solve them. I'm on the top flight now, I came from the bottom. Ain't gotta check my credibility, they know I got them. Can't win it over, I stand getting better. You let it burn me in the falling, so panoramic, it can't even afford coming on it. I'll pay the price since it's unimportant. So unimportant. So I don't want you, I don't need you in my life. Making happy, they fall, they pop. Day by, comes coming. Comes coming. Better make it rain, was it 80 green? Better make it rain, was it better make it rain? Better make it rain, was it 80 green? Better make it rain, was it better make it. It's the Plug Podcast, hey! Yo, you already know. Watch how that shit drop. Yeah. Man, we've been doing this for quite some time, and we're gonna keep on keeping on, you know? Oh, get with it or stay away from it. But either way, we going to the top. Can't win it over, I stand with getting better. You let it burn me in the falling, so panoramic, it can't even afford coming over. I pay the price since it's unimportant. So unimportant. So I don't want you, I don't need you in my life. I feel like I'm cross, I put that on God, and feeling like the top, feeling like the king. Everything you beat, it ain't really what it seems. Traveling, seeing all the world's problems, trying to tell you how we get it and how we can solve them. I'm on the top flight now, I came from the bottom. Ain't gotta check my credibility, they know I got them. Can't win it over, I stand getting better. You let it burn me in the falling, so panoramic, it can't even afford coming on it. I'll pay the price since it's unimportant. So unimportant. So I don't want you, I don't need you in my life. Making happy, they fall, they pop. Day by, comes coming. Comes coming. Better make it rain, was it 80 green? Better make it rain, was it better make it rain? Better make it rain, was it 80 green? Better make it rain, was it better make it.
So high that certain people can't even be around you because your energy is so strong. Vibrate so high that anybody that's wishing to do evil upon you, it shall be revealed. Vibrate so high that any evil entity feels uncomfortable in your presence. Vibrate so high.
Salute to the world. We back at it like a crack addict. It's your boy Cross, Boss Cross, Big CO, Cross Your Heart. And we got my man Kerry in the building. What's up? I should have probably moved that camera thing back, but it's good. Yeah, salute everybody coming in the building. Once again, we up in here. Man, we're going to go into something, and I brought this to Kerry's attention. The title says, for your relationship, it's okay, and all these are question marks, and niece. And the reason why I titled that is a lot of times we see a lot of these kids end up going to jail for substance abuse, whether it be the drug dealing or whatever the case could be, right? Yeah. So you sit back and you think, based on all that, a lot of times young men get put for years and years and years in jail, for what we call allegedly, even though we know it's not right to do it, but support their family, whether it's helping their mama pay bills or whatever. Yeah. But it's another thing. What do you think about people that are what we call stranger dangers? But we have to be careful on this YouTube because they will hit you. So stranger dangers, people that prey on young kids. And then Salute Barry White is in the building. What's up with my man Barry White? So my thing to you is when you see people like that, right? And that take prey on kids, and then they go in front of a parole hearing. Do you think that there is a rehabilitation for that? Or do you think that once a Chester, always a Chester?
That's the. I don't think I wouldn't say once a Chester, always a Chester, because I think everybody can be rehabilitated, everybody can be delivered, but you have to know your triggers. That's the biggest thing about anything, and anybody getting delivered, anybody getting, some help. The biggest thing about it is knowing your trigger.
Correct.
It's like anger or whatever. You don't just snap and be angry. You know what's starting to trigger you.
Right.
So some things you got to flee or run from, not because you're scared of somebody, but it's because you actually know who you are.
Facts. Yeah. Well, I got this guy right here. This is out of Connecticut, which to me is, again, what he did to his family member.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think is that, for me personally, my thing is forgivable because, again, it's one thing, okay, you make a mistake, fool me once.
Yeah.
Again, fool me twice, shame on me, shame on you. Ain't no other 3 times. When it's repetitive, you have an issue or you have something that you really need to deal with.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up, this one I'm going to show everybody, this is on the parole board, right?
Yeah.
So parole board in Connecticut, this guy is up for parole. Now what happened was, and I'll give a little background, is the guy was at the time 12, 13. His niece was 4 years old. He took advantage of his 12-year-old, his 4-year-old, all the way till he was 23, until he got caught. That's why I'd say, when is rehabilitation, or is it just, it is what it is? So what we're going to do is I'll play this first one, and then we'll watch this, and we're going to break it down. It's like a 4 or 5 part clip. And then based off of what you hear from him, I want to hear what your scenario would be. All right, so let's go with this.
And it just wasn't me. I was young and dumb at that time. But over the years, I matured. I had life experiences that matured me into what I am now, and I'm way different than what I was when I was a kid. And I believe that everybody deserves a second chance in life, even when it's the heinous crime. I believe I do deserve, a second chance, and I just want to go home and be with my family and help them to move forward. And I believe that it happens. So yeah, I believe that I've matured since then, and I'm a way better person now. So.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sherrod. We'll ask you some questions, kind of help the process for you a little bit. And then we'll deliberate and give you our decision about parole at the end of today's hearing.
Okay.
Okay, panel member Page.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, Mr. Sherrod, I appreciate your opening statement. I would have loved to hear you say something about the victim and the impact that your actions have had on her. So would you like to touch base on that for now?
Yeah, I could definitely say something about my niece. My niece, I never meant to hurt my niece. I never meant to really mess with her mind, at that time. I was young at the same time too, so I didn't really know how to become.
I'd like to stop saying that you were young. Our records indicate that that this happened over a span of almost 11 years and that you were 26?
No, nothing happened. Nothing happened when I was 26. That was when they reported it. They went to a therapist because there were some actions that was happening
where she was living at, as far as her behavior, she was behaving, stealing and fighting and stuff with her friends. And
Yeah,
they
no,
were-
okay, let's get off that. I want to know how old were you?
I started when I was around 12, 13, and
And she was 4?
yeah, around that time, yeah.
Okay. So, but you know that 12 years old, that messing with a 4-year-old is wrong.
In some cases, yeah,
No.
but
No. You know that messing with a 4-year-old at 12.
So I'm gonna stop right there, Karen. Like I said again, it's gonna get deep. That's why I said that. Now, did you just hear what he said?
Yeah.
That joker said, well, not in all situations, like based off, like
Some cases.
in some cases. What case is it that a 12, and she's gonna break it down, and then you can see the look on his face.
Right.
It's confusing.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not supposed to be out in this world, bro. You cannot
Exactly.
come amongst 12-year-old babies, and then that's your niece.
Right. But see, we can't put all cases in the same bag as his.
That's
He
true.
does not have any remorse, because you cannot have any remorse, because I think he's trying to put some cases, putting his case in the some case bag.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some cases, messing with a 4-year-old. Well, in some cases. So if you're trying to get out, that means I want to put my case in the some case bag,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
So, no, he still got something right there in his mind. And I think it might just be love or lust, whichever.
That's sick for a baby. Let's keep it
Right.
It's wrong. You know, come on. Do you see anybody else at 12-year-old walking around with a 4-year-old girlfriend, walking hand in hand or kissing or? No.
No, I just like I said, I was messed up and my mental health was off. That's all it was. I wasn't in my mind at that time. I was young and dumb, and I regret it to this day that I made those mistakes.
So from
And,
12 years old, that you said it started, up until you're 21, 20, you were doing this to her?
No, I was about 17.
So why did she say 4 to 13?
That didn't happen. It
What's
didn't
that?
happen
What's
at the time.
What's that? 9 years? Is that 9 years? Or 11 years? 9.
He was between 14 and 23 years old.
Right, okay. Oh, thank you. It's Miss Chance. Miss Chance, you were right about the last one being MB, like boy. Okay, I'm sorry.
The victim's initials on the last one.
I apologize, Mr. Sherrod. So
Was right.
It's all right.
we're right. So it said, how old Miss Chance? How old Miss Chance?
He was between 14 and 23, and she was between 4 and 13.
So where did 12 come from?
No, 12 was when I remember specifically that 12 was the time that I did these things. This is
Okay.
right around the time when my sister her mother passed away. It was about 2 years after
Okay.
she passed away.
So after her mom died, you did this to her? And then, so at 4, okay, so let's just say, so at 13, you didn't know it was wrong?
So far we're gonna stop there. So, for 11 years, you took away this kid from 4 all the way to 13, and then you went from 12 allegedly, you said, instead of saying 13, but from 12 for 11 years all the way to 23.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And then right there, then she's asking, you didn't know I was wrong at 13. Yeah, you know that it's wrong. But you still maturing, but you still know right and wrong. Period. You still know right. Yeah, kids are curious at that age.
But
But
now no kids, now no babies.
yeah,
Somebody you changing their diapers, so they just learning how to wear. Man, come on, man.
yeah.
So we gonna get into the part two. So like what Carrie was saying was that's one of the things where she breaks down and she tells you, you know what right and wrong is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And so this is for him to get out. But
Yeah, he's at the parole board. This is a parole board here.
right. So right here, right here, you're showing he's not ready to get out, period. Because he's lying.
That's what I think.
Because you can't get help if you still denying things in your mind. First it was, I don't know if it was wrong,
Yeah.
some cases, in some cases it's okay to mess with a 4-year-old child. Some cases, that means you
off the line.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's go to the part two, y'all. It gets better.
I did in a sense, but at the same time, I like I said, my mental health was
Okay, so how about 14?
it was out of whack. I mean,
15?
it was on and off, and
At 15, did you know assaulting her was wrong?
it was on and off, and then at the time 17, I said, this was it. And then after that, I started doing with other relationships after, and I wasn't doing anything with her.
You're not answering my question. I'm saying to you, regardless of whether you're 6 or 56, you know the difference between right and wrong. And that's a simple answer. And that answer would be yes, because I'm sure your parents taught you right and wrong. Don't do this. If you go out into the street, you may get hit by a car. You don't touch the stove because it may be hot. You know the difference between stealing something from a store and paying for it. That's right or wrong. So you had an idea of what was right and wrong. And I think you knew that what you were doing was wrong, but yet still you continue to engage because it sounds as if you're trying to help us gain a better understanding of why you were doing what you were doing. And that's completely different from knowing right from wrong. So now that I interrupted you as you were talking about the impact that this actions have had on your niece. Please continue. What would you say to her? Start there. If she were sitting here today and said, Uncle Ian, why'd you do this to me? Why me? Why did you choose me?
I never meant to hurt her, and then, like I said, I'm gratefully sorry that I did it to her, and I just want to make it up to her and be the best uncle that I can be going forward. I know I can't change it.
Okay, let's stop there. First of all, you can't be her uncle. You never intended on being her uncle. Moving forward,
Right.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just trying to get out a box. Her whole life is built in a box now.
Right. But he's avoiding the question.
Yeah.
He had one all the way around the question. They're asking him a simple question. Do or did you know it was wrong? And they were 13, 14, 15, I don't know if they got to 16 yet. But now he's avoided that question and went to, I want to be a better uncle. What's he gonna be, an uncle boyfriend?
Man, he nasty. He is nasty.
He nasty.
To fit. They even do that and even like it's gonna get crazy. Listen to this, get crazy.
Nothing in the past. I can't do nothing about that. But I'm talking from sincerity, from the bottom of my heart. Church, God. I've been seeking, and I'm not that person no more. I'm totally
I understand
different.
that. I understand that. No, I do. Because you're older now. You're old enough to see what you've done to this child. However, there will come a day when she will want to know why. And I think you need to think about that. And as a victim, if I were the victim, the last thing I would want to hear about was you and where you were. What I would want to hear as a victim is I was selfish. It wasn't about you ever. You just happened to be there, kind of thing. Because that's exactly what happened. That's the truth. It isn't who you are today, but the truth of the matter is I made a poor decision. I chose you because you were available. Kind of thing. And that's the truth. And please forgive me. That's it. Simple. You know, I understand that you have some things that you were going through and that you're going to continue to work on those things. But, you know, when we talk about the victim, it has nothing to do with you or your mental health. It has everything to do with you took away her innocence. You robbed her of her childhood. You did things to her that will cause her to forever not trust a man. To think that the men that are in her life that are supposed to protect her may potentially harm her. That's a lifelong term. Some of the decisions she may find herself in toxic relationships, all because of this.
So we're gonna stop right there a little bit. She hit some great key points.
Right.
And she's speaking from a woman's point of view. Totally get it. It ain't for us to determine how she brought it, but she was just letting them know, you robbed this girl of her innocence. This is not about you.
Exactly.
Yes, when you leave here, this is about you getting your life together. But you're in here because you can't get your life together. So why is it that we gonna trust you to go out when you're in here and you don't think like that?
Right. You can't even answer the simple question.
You ain't even get emotional. You ain't tear up. You ain't bring up your sister. The fact that your sister died 2 years prior to, 2 years after the fact that you started messing with your niece. That was 4. Now, you're not gonna cry for the fact what you did. Your sister will the people like.
Right. The first thing when you're looking at this particular incident, the first thing you have to see is, am I rehabilitated? You know what?
Yeah.
I'm able to say, yes, this was wrong.
Right.
You know, and I deserve the punishment that I got.
Period.
You know, now it makes me kind of cringe when I start hearing people oh, I got God now.
Right.
I got church now.
Right.
And yeah, I pastor church, but that it does something to me when you start, because it's like we're using that joke in the day. And you know, it's just, all right, I use my wife. I need something. Oh, I found God. Well,
Yeah, God and things like that. I'm seeking and all that. Knowing that you couldn't have asked for forgiveness.
No, because you could have easily came. If I'm gonna be forgiven, I'm gonna come out and say, hey, this is what I know that. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know it was wrong? I knew it was wrong then. I knew it was wrong now. Maybe I kind of got attached. Maybe I fell in love. As thick as it sounds, I fell in love.
Yeah.
But to still keep saying, you know, well, you know, I'm gonna be a good uncle.
Yeah. This joker, boy, I'm telling you, this boy, cold piece of work.
An everlasting effect. Nonetheless. Sorry. So you do rate out low. You have completed the program. You have not received any disciplinary infractions. And tell us what you've learned in the sex offender program that will help you avoid these situations in the future.
What I learned, risk factors being around any minors or something like that will cause me to react to, you know, similar stuff that I did as a teenager at that time, which I would never do that again. You know, I'm not that person. And I was never that type to, you know, go jumping from one kid to another. That wasn't me. It was just that incident with my niece. And protective factors, pretty much putting myself, like getting a job or, you know, doing something with my mind so my mind won't stay idle, for me to end up thinking in that way or doing something that I would regret later on down the road. So that's one of the big things that I took away from that class. And yeah, that was the one that really stuck with me.
Okay, and what about when you return home? I know you want to go and live with your father. Is your family divided because of this?
Not necessarily. I still talk to my mother. I still talk to my father, my brother, a few of my cousins. You know, they're all behind me. We're a Christian family too, so we have to forgive, but we don't forgive, but we have to forgive.
Okay.
And
Yes, you do. When you are involved with someone else later on in life, your wife or whoever, do you intend to share with them what you've done to this victim?
I mean, I have no choice if you want to be honest. If you want to be, you know, I have no choice. You know, you got to be totally honest with your partner as far as your background and stuff, because you don't want to, you know, let them find out later in life and then
Exactly.
All
you have to do is type your name up.
It's straight up on Google. So you might as well just be honest, straightforward, and let them know what they're getting themselves into, and then let them make that decision if they want to stick with you or not. So
you think that would be difficult for you to do? To open up to someone that you don't know and say, listen, I'm a former sex offender. And they'll say, well, why? And then you'll make up a lie.
No, I can't make up a lie. I have to be honest. You know, I'm changed. I'm different.
Okay.
And I'm always that type, to be honest. You guys, a lot of people that can vouch for me, like the pastor that I used to work for. I was a camp counselor during this time too.
Did you hear what he said? I know you hot right now, Kerry. We ain't gonna show Kerry's face right now. Yeah, he hot, boy. Fish grease. That man threw God in it about 4 times.
Yeah.
And he's a camp counselor. And he brought his pastor's name up, as meaning my pastor can vouch for me as a good person.
I don't know. I'm not gonna judge my man, but just going by what we see here, there's no remorse. So there's no remorse here. There was no remorse back then.
Right, but what about with the pastor then? The pastor vouching for him. The pastor say he's a good person.
Well, you have to be careful. Even when you're running some people
You don't make a joke. So what do we need to ask if this is a non-denomination? You gotta ask some of the rules now. They got some rules in the club.
Exactly.
Rules to be in the club.
But at the same time, and still being in the ministry and then having children around as well, you have to do a background check.
Right.
You know, with the school that we have to do a background check. Right. So, yeah, the pastor, the staff, everybody else needs to do a background check. Everybody that we hire, we have to do a background check.
That's right.
Have they had a problem with children?
That's crazy.
Now, I guess this pastor didn't deem it necessary, or he was under the table, or you know what I'm saying? So why didn't it pick up that? Well, like you said, the pastor do it. It's been delivered.
Delivered, lay hands on.
He should have been. I mean, he should have been in the kitchen or something. He shouldn't be out here in the camp. And First of all, you hadn't even been arrested.
No, this is before. This was before. Yeah. Went down, so we don't tell what it did with the camps. And then, you know, I mean, again, it's just one child that came out because when they had that stuff traumatized like that, they don't know who to reach out and talk to. You know what I'm saying? So that could have been it too. So let's keep going and see what he says.
So I dealt with a lot of kids and
You won't be able
taking.
to do that. You won't be able to do that now.
No, I know that, but this was when I was young, when I was in my teenage years. I'm not a camp counselor now, but
Oh, I know that you're not a camp counselor. I'm just saying that you were saying that you used to interact with them and help out, but I'm saying that you're not going to be. Life for you that you have as you do it is completely.
I know.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Page. I do not have any questions. I thought you pretty much covered everything. Ms. Chance?
Yes, I wanted to follow up maybe one thing. So, you were asked if you knew what you were doing was wrong, and you said at first you did not know, but as you got older, you knew, but you still continued. That was the response that you gave to the PO, but you gave a little different response to Mrs. Page today.
Of course you do.
When as you said, I said that when I got older. I mean, 17. Yeah, I mean, that's why, you know, I stopped. You know, I what was the response I gave to Miss Logan? I thought I'd get this same response.
Yeah, you said at first you didn't know, so that may have been when you started earlier on, but he said as you got older, you knew.
All right, so it's kind of confusing to me because it sounds like what they're kind of doing too is coercing him and what to say. You said it earlier, a lot of people know. You would think if you're there for your freedom, even if you lie, you're supposed to lie.
Right.
It don't seem like it's like he's trying to get it, but he kind of slow. I think his IQ could be off. He could be a little slow. He probably got a flat back in his head, might be flat. You know, they say, old folks say, well, they can't trust nobody with their head flat. Yeah, my great drops. Yeah. So let's get ready. Yeah, he probably got a drop. So let's go to the next one. Check this out.
That's what you said.
Yeah, well, yeah, I said the same thing to Miss Logan too, because she did tell me that
Right.
at a sense, you know, I did know, but at the same time, when I got older, I knew, but I stopped. I stopped once I understand, because I did hear other stories from different people about certain situations that were similar to mine. So,
did you hear what he said? Once he got to jail and got over there, he stopped because he heard similar stories. Yeah, of course you're gonna hear that. Of course you're gonna stop. You can't do that in jail unless you're taking it. Yeah, but he don't look like the type of person. He look like they kind of put their hands on him, especially, you know, in jail. They don't play that Chester role.
Right.
You get violated being in Chester. Right. So yeah, let's see.
So I didn't want to continue to do that for my niece, because I know it was wrong. It was wrong, pretty much. And I was selfish in that case.
So do you think going forward that you're going to be able to have a normal relationship?
It'd probably be a struggle at first. It'll probably be a struggle, but I mean, I'm not gonna give up. You know, there might be one person. There might be one person that might, you know, put everything to the side and know my real character.
He's still in love with that little girl.
Yeah, he in love.
He just said, what are you gonna do about it? He said, like he on TV, it's probably one out there.
Yeah.
He's in a fairy tale, because he said, I might be able to move on.
Right. But you gotta go to the last segment of what he said. He says, it was only one. She said, well, what are you gonna do when you're around a whole lot of,
Yeah,
you know, I don't have to worried about that because it was only
Only
one.
one.
So then this
And he said he don't go over the mess with a bunch of kids.
because it's only one.
Yeah.
So now he said, but if I get, struggle. But then at the end he said, but my true character is gonna come.
Yeah.
If you listen to it right, he said, but then the real me is gonna come. Which is suggest everything that we're looking at now.
Yeah.
It's what you all told me. So
That's the way I was looking at it too. That's got me mad.
Know that I am a real good person and that I am a mature, accountable person that would, take accountable for his actions. So I believe there's someone out there, when that time comes, it comes. I'm not in a rush, but comes, it comes.
Okay, thank you. I'm all set.
Thank you, Ms. Chance.
Madam Chair, I haven't voted to parole. This is his only criminal offense. He would benefit from the supervision of the special management unit out in the community. He's considered a low risk in terms of his recidivity. He has received no disciplinary infractions, and he's taken the appropriate program. I don't think he's a suitable candidate for discretion.
Agreed. And there was a letter of support written on his behalf, speaking to helping him when he returns to the community.
Yeah, and I know that the judge outlined a whole bunch of recommendations for him when he goes back in the community. And I mean,
So would that be the path then? He got a whole bunch of recommendations. They asked him how was his family and stuff. He said, well, we all get along.
right. Everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves forgiveness. But at the same time, you have to understand, are you ready for forgiveness? And to first of all, to forgiveness, you first of all realize that I've done something wrong. This brother's not really necessarily saying that he's done anything wrong. No. I'm telling you, he in love with it.
Like you say now, I feel like this. I use the story of the Bible. Thank God that God didn't give Lucifer a second chance. Yeah, he would have got back door like an op in Chicago. That's why I tell you, KA, everybody don't deserve a second chance. God showed us when he take that man, he tell you, look at man, I'm tired of this dude, man. Hey, cast him out.
Yeah.
God, you gonna just put, man, get him out, man. Well, I tell you what, this dude around here shining and glowing, got jewelry on, bling bling, he's singing in front of all the females. He want to be Teddy Pendergrass and everybody else and LL Cool J and be one of these rappers with all this bling bling on. Man, get him up out of here, man.
Yeah.
Thank God that God didn't give that joker those second chance.
Yeah, many of us, we don't want past me, myself, I didn't want past second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Yeah, I have it all. But then we say, you can't get mad if you get got.
And guess what? And I got
Yeah.
and some of my mess ups too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said before, first of all, you have to own up to your mistakes. And second of all, you have to know what your triggers are.
Yeah.
You got to know what your triggers are. Everybody that's on this live, that's something that we struggle with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if my man, let's just say, if it was a different circumstance, whatever the case is, even in some things like that.
Right.
If it's and you're still gonna struggle with it.
Right.
Every one of us gonna have to. That's what you got to do. You got to struggle means it's trying to get me, but I'm fighting not to go back to that. But you have to know what your triggers.
Smooths out, Bob.
You still gotta know what your triggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, thank God, God did. Boy, I tell you, boy, I'm glad I told her to get it. That nigga was, hey, man, Lucy would have backdoored him like one of them Chicago drill rappers. I ain't playing, so
He wanted to take over.
Yeah, he wanted to take on that. Man, like all of them do. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
He absolutely says that he has to do all of these things when he goes out. Do you know the Sterling Center?
No, where's that at? I heard of it, but I don't know. Where's it?
Shelton?
I think it's in Chapin, but I think that's probably where,
The sex offender program that will help you avoid these situations in the future.
What I learned was risk factors and protective factors. Risk factors being around any minors or something like that that will cause me to react to, similar stuff that I did as a teenager at that time, which I would never do that again. I'm not that person, and I was never that type to go jumping from one kid to another. That wasn't me. It was just that incident with my niece. And protective factors, pretty much putting myself, like getting a job or doing something with my mind so my mind won't stay idle, for me to end up thinking in that way or doing something that I would regret later on down the road. So that's one of the big things that I took away from that class. And yeah, that was the one that really stuck with me.
Okay, and what about when you return home? I know you want to go and live with your father. Is your family divided because of this?
Not necessarily. I still talk to my mother. I still talk to my father, my brother, a few of my cousins. They're all behind me. We're a Christian family too, so we have to forgive, but we don't forgive, but we have to forgive.
Okay.
And
Yes, you do. When you are involved with someone else later on in life, your wife or whoever, do you intend to share with them what you've done to them?
So we already broke that part down. So what ends up happening is that video before it, and I showed a short video when they asked him where did he know any treatment centers or whatnot. Did you know that after they did that, they all agreed and they pardoned him parole? So that's what I wanted to show everybody this. So they end up pardoning him parole. After all that, they coerce him into saying all this stuff. And right then at the end of the video, they said they all agreed that he deserves that chance back in there. After they just told him, it don't sound like you're more sad for the victim. And this is why I hate the fact that we're in a situation we're in this world where some people, and again, right is right, wrong is wrong. But if somebody's out there and they're selling something and they're doing it, and yes, it's wrong. But you got a person that this person completely abused, across the type of time to give me high blood pressure. I totally understand. So that's why I said it's like, how do you excuse that?
You can't. There's no excuse for it. You know what I'm saying? And then if you made that mistake, I have friends that's buried in this.
Right.
You understand it? But they haven't done nothing like this. They were actually, we can't justify anything. Right. They were providing for,
That's right.
Their family.
That's right.
But they wasn't really harming. I know
the gist of it is you're selling the poison. I get it. Yeah. But like you say, the intent, right? The intent, you're not looking at it. The intent is, I want to take care of my family. And I'm not trying to do harm, even though at the end of the day, because I experienced me being in the street, getting in trouble. So, and you change that around. But for 11 years, you violated this child. You can't tell me, like, we broke all this down, and he said he was basically he was in love. He don't want to admit that he was in love, but he was in love. So what happens to that child when he gets out?
Well, let's correct something. It wasn't that he was in love.
In an unmental state, not as an adult.
No.
Yeah.
He's in love. Because he said, maybe if I get parole.
Look. Yeah.
He said, maybe it might be one.
Right.
Who is that one? You just said it's not like you were messing with a child. If you mess with a child, it was just one.
Yeah.
But if you get out, it might be just one. Well, it don't take a rocket scientist. Who is that one? You know what I'm saying? And you're not. There's no remorse. There's no remorse.
Facts.
And one thing you have to look at the body language. When the first lady, or I think it was the second lady that was giving him a question, he can't handle pressure.
Yeah. Because their sister got on.
But when the last one, she was a little bit more calm. You could tell she maybe older.
Older, yeah.
But when he was dealing with the more aggressive woman, he couldn't think. This brother, he just, from my little experience, he's got a little mental problem. He's got something. He may be intimidated. If you look at the price, especially he didn't have a
No, he was messing with the little girl.
he had to
Man. That's why I said, and I brought this up because we're getting ready for the school year. And because I mentor a lot of kids and I watch for stuff like this. And a lot of times it be the victims, most time be people in their own family close to them because they know how to do it.
Right.
So I want to salute, like they said, Zappa said, salute the victim for her coming out, saying what she had to say. He a cold piece of work, and I can't believe that Joker is out.
But I tell you this, it still go back to even what we said before. One of the worst things that we can do or have, and I'm still what our parents meant, but we can't still have that same principle of what goes on in this house.
Stays in his house.
Because from 13 to 23, 24, you're not going to tell me somebody else in that family didn't see what was going on. Who had?
I think the daddy, the one that protected the son. Yeah, my daddy said I can come live with him. Right then and there to let me know. That's why she asked, you don't got no problem with the other family members? No, they all get along with me. My cousins and everybody support me. But what about the little girl? Who's supporting her?
Because the thing about it is, and it's gross to even think about, understand, really don't understand what type of sexual actions was taken. Did he?
It was, yeah. All the above.
All the above.
All the above.
Okay, but
fondling, it started off fondling when the child was 4. And it went from there. For 11 years. Till she was 13. 9 years, I'm sorry. From 4 to 9. From 4 to 13, 9 years.
But see, that's why we want to be behind.
Because you got to start preaching right now.
He has some short problems anyway.
Yeah, shortcomings. Yeah, he has some shortcomings.
He has some short problems. He has to target 4-year-old. Because if he's doing this, he's going all the way, with a 4, 5, 6-year-old. Bro, he already has upstairs and downstairs. Yeah. So he had to try to get on the level, I think, of where he was. He was. But my thing about the reason why I said that, he's penetrating a young lady at that age. Somebody else in that family should have known she's hurting, you know, whatever else can go along with it. But somebody else should have known. And a child at that age, if you do something to them, you'll start seeing that when they come around, or the person that's been hurt them come around, their body language will show you something. You know what I'm saying? There's something now, and my kids are grown, but there's a point when they know that I'm angry. If a young child like that, they're gonna know, they're gonna let you know. I'm nervous. I'm nervous when they come around. So what did the rest of the family do? I know that. But yeah. Pat. But you know, we got to do away, y'all, with this thing about what's going on in the house state and all this kind of stuff. I understand that, but then we have to understand when something is not right, we cannot afford to continue to keep looking the other way. And we cannot be double-minded. We can't be hypocritical. I'm just going to throw this out here. We're telling the police and the men in blue, you know, all of the partners, why y'all let this go on? Now we want to march, we want to burn stuff, we want to do all this stuff. When the other we want all of them to be charged. But the same thing come on this side of the fence. Every one of these family members, every one of them that knew what was going on and you turned your head, you should be charged. You should be charged with something that's a penalty. But we gotta get away from it. And there's no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world we're gonna be neighbors. And I see something going on in your house, and don't say nothing. If you're running around, if your children is outside after 9, 8, and I know that they normally in the house around that time, I'm gonna, hey, yo, you know, what really at? What's wrong? What's wrong? Somebody got to tell me.
Yeah, why everybody outside? Who are you out there with? Why he ain't out there? Where's the son?
Yeah.
Where's his wife and his daughter? Somebody's got to be able to say something. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate Kerry coming on, dropping some gems. We wanted to drop this. And like I said again, to show everybody what we go against with the system. When we're saying the system is not for us, it's for someone else. We don't know who it is, but the team, the sicker they are, the ones that can't apologize, those are the ones that get the pass. So y'all monitor your kids, watch out for people like this. I want to keep on bringing y'all different stuff. And I just want to show y'all what these people go through on the parole board. Because to me, they coerced this man to get this man out. And if God forbid something happened to a child around there, then they're going to blame that man. Not the people that let him go, but blame that man.
That's right.
You know, so on that note, salute to everybody. Appreciate everybody coming out. We had another great one. Peace.
It's the Plug Podcast, hey. Yo, you already know. Once how this shit drop. Yeah. Man, we've been doing this for quite some time, and we're gonna keep on keeping on, you know. Oh, get with it or stay away from it. But either way, we going to the top. I stand with getting better, let it come in the fall, and so pandemic, it can't even afford coming over. I pay the price.